Welcome to this NoLimits bronze coaching session. We're asked a lot of questions about how do I get more leads? Sometimes how do I get more customers? Ultimately, when you dig down behind these questions, most people that we're speaking to are asking for more money, more revenue that they can turn into more profit in terms of growing their business. And that's why today I wanted to focus on turning your customers into raving fans. It's a big part of that equation and one that is often missed. It's often the fruit that's already on the tree that you haven't remembered to pick. So if you've got more than one customer, and chances are you've already got a few customers engaging with you, buying your products, experiencing your services, the likelihood is that you've got great fruit you can pick by developing some of those right customers for the ultimate goal, which is to increase your profits. And if you increase your profits, then of course you can choose where you invest that money, whether it's back into your business or for you to invest in yourself, or indeed in enjoyment. We're here for fun and enjoyment, aren't we? So that my question is, what do raves, trees, snacks, and ladders have in common? Snakes and ladders have in common. Well, it's all about sowing the right seeds, supporting growth, and harvesting the right fruit. So today we're going to focus on moving leads into raving fans. We're going to highlight some key strategies that you can focus on and give you a couple of tips. Now, some of these things might be things that you already know. I'm absolutely okay with that. We at Action Coach focus on, and you can expect today, BFOs, blinding flashes of the obvious. This is where things that you already know connect with something you're thinking now and trigger a new thought. Ideally a new action, so you can go and implement for something for your business right away that will drive your profitability. So expect those. So let's check in. Make sure you've adjusted your environment so you're not disturbed. Got some nice water at hand. Open your mind and be ready for participation. Now, I do welcome questions. I also recognise that a lot of people watch this on demand, catch up to suit their schedule. So if you're not in the opportunity to ask a question live, please do avail of the coaching community. There's an opportunity to ask a coach on a regular basis within myself or fellow coaches. So if you've got any questions from today, or indeed any other questions, please pose them in there. Don't suffer or miss out on an opportunity in silence. Remember, the community is there to help you connect, collaborate, and grow. So the theme for today is all about relationships, something I'm sure you're familiar with. People buy from people, and part of marketing is selling. And for any valuable relationship, you need to put a bit of effort in. You need to nurture it. And that is part of the theme today in terms of developing what we call raving fans. Because we all need customers, don't we? Without customers, I know there's a joke when somebody has done something awful. What a pain in the neck a customer's is. But in reality, without those customers, we don't exist. We haven't got a purpose. So how do you get yours? You know, there's a very old phone there representing cold calling. But what I urge you to consider is that if you're starting anything cold, and it's less often the phone, it might be social media or a digital strategy. That takes generally a lot more time and a lot more effort to build up to turn into a customer and incremental profit than building relationships with people that already know. They're somewhere on that equation of knowing you or completely trusting you. So ask yourself, what have you left on the table? And I'd also like you to think about your perfect customer. Stop for a second and imagine your perfect customer. Take a blank sheet of paper or a fresh page in your electronic book, if that's the way that you roll these days, and start to write down what makes them perfect. Is it the amount of money that they spend with you? Is it the time that they spend engaging in your services? Is it the regularity that they shop with you? Is it the amount of profit you can gain? Are they a pleasure to deal with, or the complete opposite of that and a real pain in the arse? What will make them upgrade? Do they pay you on time? Just list down all the perfect things that your ideal customer is. We'll come back to that later, because that's what you want to encourage. That's the kind of person that you want to attract to your business, or indeed, if they are already there, thank them and encourage them to bring other people like them to you. But things aren't always perfect, are they? In the game of life, or the game of business, as we're talking here, it's a little bit like snakes and ladders. So the ladders represent those perfect customers you've just been thinking about. You've got in your head now. What do you think the snakes represent? They represent the completely opposite. The snakes are those pain in the neck customers. You know the ones. You've given them you've given them a discount, assuming it would take far less time. They've actually soaked up all of your energy, and they are still not happy. So you're making less money from them. You're investing more of your time with them, and you're not really getting a win-win. Whatever your snakes look like that, bear that in mind. They're not your raving fans. They are people that we want to give to the competition. Eradicate those from your business. Sometimes it's hard when you starting out in your business, but set your rules of who you want to say yes to, who you'll accept, and who you really want to encourage. That's your perfect customer list. So I've got a couple of things I want to focus on. A quick check-in on a referral based business for anyone that this is fresh to. I don't want to step you through our ladder of loyalty. You might use different terms, but if you think and you split your businesses out into the stages, then you can really take advantage of this. And then we'll wrap up with a reminder of a few referral strategies that you can utilize within your business. Any questions as we go, don't hesitate to ask. Now, really important, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but for any marketing activity, we need to start with solid foundations. Those foundations here are how you add value. What is it that your product or service does for a customer? We need to be really clear on that. Because we're here to make money, you also need to know how you make a profit. We don't want to spend a lot of effort and money getting a lot of revenue for vanity's sake that doesn't make us anything at the end of the day. And the third thing you need is where you're headed. What do you want to achieve? With that, we know who our perfect customer is because we've already talked about that, who we're offering, how we're going to make money, and where we want to get. Those are the foundations. That can take the form of one piece of paper that answers those 4 questions to give you clarity right now, so you can work on this afternoon, or it may take the form of a number of pieces of research leading into a detailed marketing plan. You decide what's most relevant for you to drive your business forward right now. Okay, so let's start with a referral-based business. What is it? Now, often I meet people and they say, I say, well, what marketing strategies, what tactics, what are you using currently? And one common answer is, oh, we're quite reliant on word of mouth. We don't do much marketing. So what's the difference between word of mouth, where other people tell people about you, what you're doing, and a referral-based business? For me, it probably comes down to one word, and that word is proactivity. There's nothing wrong with great word of mouth, but if you are reliant on this as one of your 5-10 ways to generate income and market your business, get new customers buying more from you, if it's strategically important, then we want a bit more proactivity, discipline, and system than waiting for somebody to decide when they were asked at a party that your thing might be a good thing to refer on. So this is about you taking control to make sure that you have other people referring your business proactively. And you know as well as I that they won't proactively do it unless you start the ball rolling. So the stuff that you need to do. The other advantage you can see on that slide I've got here is a relatively low acquisition cost. If you already know somebody, all you need to do is speak to them. That's it. You may do more than that, but you don't have to buy a list, invest in advertising, do social media, all of the things. Actually, some of those might support it, but the investment is far less. And because they're going to be recommended, the likelihood that they will convert to a customer, whoever they recommend, is a lot higher. So the acquisition cost of the right people referred to your business is really attractive. Let's pause for a second. I've got another question for you. What if I told you you could have an unlimited marketing budget? You can buy as many customers as you want. And from a marketing perspective, the one thing you've got to do is to buy new customers. So the question is, how much are you willing to pay from them? Let's say you did an advert, cost you 100 quid, from which you got 10 leads, and of the 10 leads, you sold to 2 of them, and they each spent £100, then effectively you've bought each customer for 50 quid. Bear that in mind when you're prioritizing which marketing activities you want to utilize to generate more profit right now for your business. Because there's also a little concept of customer lifetime value. Now, this will vary drastically depending on the type of product and service that you offer. But when you're considering buying customers for your business, consider how much where you want to get the payback. i.e., you may break even on the first transaction and then start making money. Consider for you what is right in terms of investing in a customer and how long they can spend money with you. If your typical relationship of service is 10 years and they invest quite a lot with you, then the amount you are willing to invest in that customer is probably going to shoot up. So consider that within your mix. I'd like you to think about what makes referral strategy successful for you. Give that some thought. Drop a couple of ideas down on paper. What can make it successful? Two things stand out for me. Service, the experience that you offer, extraordinary service gets talked about. So does poor service, but by the way. So you really got to give people something extraordinary, something really special for people to talk about. So the question you might want to ask is, what stands out? And when I say stands out, is talkable about my service or the experience of working with me or us. Because ultimately, if people start telling these stories of an amazing experience, these raving fans, as we call them, will start doing your selling for you. And the other thing that makes it work, a referral strategy, is your offer. And I'm not just talking about the offer to the person that they're going to refer to you. They might not need an offer. Your service might be perfect for them once you've established the right value equation and assure it's a good fit for them. I'm talking about your offer to the person that does the referral. Now, some people will incentivize other people to do their selling for them on a commission basis on one level, right through to thanking them for bringing a customer to them. Could be a simple, bottle of wine or a bunch of flowers to say, thank you very much for introducing that customer to me. They've just signed up and are going to avail of our services. Now, I think how they feel, they've been thanked for it with a beautiful bottle of wine or some flowers that they like. The gesture is probably more important than the absolute value here, but the likelihood of them repeating that, assuming your service is good, which is why these two things hand in hand, goes right up. So think about how you incentivize or reward the people who are going to do the referring. The question for you to ask yourself, is it right for your business? Again, if it's something you want to discuss, then please do jump on the NoLimits platform or direct mail me, and we can have a conversation to confirm if it's a strategy that is right for you. I now want to step you up the ladder of our loyalty, because I realize that I've introduced this concept of raving fans, but not really explained yet how we acquire them. And with all things in life, they don't just happen. You have to do some work. You have to build a relationship to actually build them up to become a raving fan. And we use this, what we call a ladder of loyalty, which takes you basically up a series of steps from not knowing that customer to them being your biggest fan and doing your sales job for you. So what we need to do, and what I'm actively encouraging, is you have tactics to move people up your ladder. You might call them different things. That's absolutely fine. The concept is more important here than the specific words and the details that I've used on my illustration that you can see. So you want to get people to the first rung, or more importantly, for a lot of you, they will already be at some of the higher up rungs and therefore are easier to move up the ladder. So let's have a look at the ladder stage by stage, if you like. The first rung, right at the bottom, is what we call the suspect. So how do you identify if it's a suspect? Well, they fit your target market. They are potential customers willing to buy from you. So you go from your pool of people you're looking at to, hang on, do they fit who I'm looking for? That is the first stage. Many people miss out that stage and speak to absolutely everyone. We've all made that mistake. Let's be honest. So make sure you're doing some evaluation to make sure you're spending quality time with the people that are your suspects. Stepping up, we take it to what we call prospect. Now, the way we define prospect, if they have taken some action, that may be to call you, it may be to have a look at your website. We, for instance, do quite a lot of tracking on our website, so we can see where people have gone, how long they've stayed, so we can actually rate prospects based on their level of engagement with our site. And importantly, you've got their details at this point in time, so you can get back in touch with them. And I certainly recommend this is where you start building your database if you haven't already. And there are plenty of CRM tools out there to support that. Again, a number of those on the platform, starting from free, if that's something new for you. Then we get to shopper. This is the point of conversion. They make one purchase from you. They hadn't bought from you before, they've now shopped, they are a shopper. Now, many businesses put a massive stop sign up here and say, oh, that's done, let's focus on the next suspect and bring them up the ladder, almost waiting for them to return. So many people make the mistake of ignoring this person. If this was a relationship, yeah, it's a bit like not phoning them and asking them for the second date. So don't stop. These people have shopped from you. Some could have had a bad experience or not liked your product. It's a reality. Some might have had a fantastic experience and everything everything in between. And don't you think it's worth your while finding out that? This is a great opportunity to do a bit of customer research, because if the reason that they're not going to buy again is something that you can change and fix for other people, it's probably worth fixing and investing in. If they just didn't suit or for some other reason, that's fine. If they loved what you did, then there's a great chance you can build that relationship and have a third date, a fourth date, to continue that scenario. Now, we actually define here a difference between a shopper and a customer. So a customer is somebody who's bought from you on a number of different occasions. Yeah. And it's important, I think, to be able to distinguish that within your database. Is it a one-off purchase, or is this a regular customer of ours? Because if you get a bit more sophisticated, you can look at what they've bought, how often they've bought, how much they've spent, and start tailoring your messaging and communications to things that you think will be good for them, based on their interests or based on what they might not be aware of that you do or could do for them. Stepping up to the next rung of the ladder, a member. Now, a member feels like they belong. Sometimes you might have a membership card. Sometimes sometimes a kit. Sometimes just being part of a community is enough to be a member. And the customers who make 2 purchases are 10 times likely to be members. So think of what membership could look like or mean for you. Different companies, membership means very different things, but you can take advantage of the ethos, the philosophy of people feeling part of you. Doesn't mean you have to have a club card or points or a membership scheme. Membership as a philosophy is far bigger than that. The next step up the ladder is advocate. A key thing that an advocate does, as it says in the name, is to advocate. They tell others about you. They will give you referrals or promote you and keep buying. Advocates are one of your assets within your business. So make a great relationship. Spend time with advocates. Invest in advocates. Encourage them. Help them with their businesses. Do what you need to encourage them to promote you. And then you've guessed it, top of that ladder, raving fans. Once you've created advocates, it's not an overnight process. Most relationship building isn't. They do this. They do your selling for you. They can't stop selling you. You've had that person who just comes in, they're raving, I don't know, about a restaurant that they visited, and they may soak up 5 minutes of your introductory chat, telling you all about how the experience was, how fantastic, how you must go. So encourage that person. Stay in touch with that person. Make sure you are the person that they are raving about. Because who knows, that's the very same person might go to a different restaurant 2 weeks later and start raving about them. If you haven't reminded them to come back or thank them for passing a customer on. So bear that in mind. Really, that's your ladder of loyalty. Suspect, prospect, shopper, customer, member, advocate, raving fan. What do your raving fans? In fact, what does your ladder look like? They come in all different shapes and sizes. The important thing is that you, for your business, define the steps, define the relationships that you want to build, remembering those perfect customers that you want. You want to be dropping those that aren't any help to you. So, have you got raving fans? How are you treating them? And what are you doing for them? Think about it. If you're doing nothing, then look at where you are on that ladder and build in the next stage for your business. I just want to spend a couple of minutes to wrap up, just reminding you of a few strategies. This is like the first 6 that I call the 6 building blocks. There are many more after this. So we covered it earlier, but who is your ideal customer? You need to be able to tell your advocates and your raving fans who you're after, who would love your restaurant in that example. The second thing I would recommend is to review your customer list. Those customers that are ideal and what criteria they have, and those that are not. So you can really focus your attention on those that are going to love your business, love your products, love your services, and tell others about them. We have a whole process for ranking customers I won't go into in terms of grading your existing customers. Happy to pick that up with people at a subsequent session if it's of interest. Number 3 is to work out your customer acquisition cost. Not many people can do this, so don't be sitting there thinking, I've got absolutely no idea how much it costs to acquire each customer. The first step you can take is to understand and ask every customer, where did you hear about us? Because then you can attribute roughly what kind of activity you might have had invested to do in order for them to find you via that particular route. You can then evaluate that over time, so you can upweight those activities that are working better, those marketing strategies that are performing, and downweight or change those that don't. Number 4 is to decide how much you're willing to invest to buy new customers. And remember that the investment here is far cheaper if you're upgrading people on your ladder. That may be asking them on why would you buy from us again, giving them a simple reward. These little gestures take a little amount of time, a little bit of effort, a focus on relationship building and customers as part of the culture of your business. But from a numeric cost perspective, are far less than buying people cold and bringing them into your business. So decide how you want to invest. 5, so obvious, but we all forget to do it. Keep in touch with your customers. It takes far longer, 5 times more, 10 times more. You'll see different figures quoted to buy new customers you don't know than to get people coming back to buy from you again. So make sure that you're investing in relationship building strategies, whether that's phoning people up on a regular basis, sending people a newsletter, sending people a thank you card. Some people do what we call critical non-essentials, like lovely little touch points, like sending somebody a birthday card and just reminding people about you. Why don't you come into the hair salon? We know it's your birthday next week. We're going to have a little bottle of champagne for you while you get your haircut. You up for that? Just reminding people. And teach customers. Teach is the massive emphasis. Why it's good for them to give you referrals. And remember, as I said earlier, there's an element there that's just goodwill. People like giving and sharing. And there's an element that might have some sort of numeric value to it in terms of a formal or a financial thank you to encourage them to do more. So if we wrap up, then raving fans, this is the part 1. There are many more strategies that we can go into at a later date. Is define that perfect customer. Revisit that list you've started to sketch out earlier on, so you're really clear on the target market. Number 2 is to decide the role of a referral strategy within your business. If you've got a huge customer base already, it may take, for example, a far larger chunk and be a far more important strategy than a business that's just got started with only a few customers. They may define it, but they might be more reliant on other means to build their short-term profits. Ladder of loyalty. We've stepped you through a version of it. Remember, it's the relationship building stages and what you do that's important. So what does yours look like? How do you define it? And can it become a culture and a point of difference within your business? And then 4, pick the strategies that are right for you and your business to lead your customer through effectively a customer journey. But think of it as a journey from not knowing you to finding out about you, to investigating you, to buying something, from buying something again, to recommending to other people, to selling your business for you so you don't have to. Think about that journey and how you can encourage and build that journey with people, remembering the most important word, relationships. That's what I mentioned right at the beginning. So to wrap up, what actions are you going to take to profit from today? It's all very well to come to a session like this to remind us about some key questions that people are asking about business and get some new ideas, or indeed just be reminded of ones that you already knew but haven't done anything about. So what action are you going to take? It could be that you just need to follow up, or you've got more questions. That's absolutely fine. Please get in touch with us on the platform or me directly with your questions. It may be that you need to commit something to paper, commit something to your diary or schedule to make it happen. Whatever it is, take action so you can profit from today. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being part of the community. We're all about connections, collaborating and growing together. So if you need any help with your business in that regard, then don't hesitate to reach out and get in touch with me or one of my fellow coaches at any time. Thank you for joining. I don't think we've got any more questions come in. I certainly can't see any. So I will bid you a good afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your day. Make sure you take a quick log of what you're going to do with this to add value and profit from this session. Good luck. Take care.